The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. More top-ranking police officials are expected to follow the courtesy resignation of PNP Chief Rodolfo Azurin in response to the Interior Department's call. However, an advocacy group warns that this cleansing of the ranks could do more harm than good. Brian Castillo with a report.
No less than PNP Chief Rodolfo Azurin Jr. took the call to tender his courtesy resignation. This comes a day after Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos appealed to top-ranking PNP officials to step down as part of internal cleansing within their ranks. Along with Azurin, PNP Deputy Chief for Administration Lieutenant General Rodel Sermonia and Deputy Chief for Operations Lieutenant General Benjamin Santos also turned in their resignations.
Lahat kami rito, yung command group ko, they have already submitted.
In his resignation letter addressed to the President, General Azurin said that he is willing to undergo evaluation and assessment to clear his name of involvement in the illegal drug trade. Other top cops like NCRPO Chief Junel Estomo and Manila Police District Director Police Brigadier General Andre Dizon also appear ready to accept the call. However, Azurin bears that there are also some officers who are hesitant in submitting their courtesy resignations.
These are their bread and butter. Ito yung karir nila. Sabi nga nila, para bang wala kaming ginawa for the last 30 years. But sabi ko, ang on trial dito is our organization. We should think first of our organization and then the individual interest will follow.
For former PNP Chief and Senator Panfilo Lacson, calling for courtesy resignations is a good way to fast-track internal cleansing. He added that wide-scale purging in the PNP had already been done during the time of former President Fidel Ramos.
Again, napakaraming dadaanan. So, baka tapos na yung termino, hindi pa na isasagawa yung, o na isasakatuparan yung tinatawag na fresh start ng pamunuan ng PNP.
However, for the Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption, this method can be problematic.
Yung chain of command dito medyo magugulo. What will happen kung courtesy resignation sa lahat ng general at mga full colonels? Pag pinag-resign mo yan, magkakaroon ng vacuum po dyan.
There are over 900 police officials with the ranks of colonel to general in the PNP. And out of that number, less than 10 officers are believed to be involved in illegal drug transactions based on initial investigations. Top police officials have until the end of the month to tender their courtesy resignations. Based on PNP rules, authorities have 30 days to act on the courtesy resignation before it becomes effective. As of now, there is no word yet on who will form the 5-member committee tasked to review the resignations. But the PNP has already submitted a short list of nominees for the President to choose from. While the committee has the power to identify policemen with links to illegal drug trade, it cannot strip confirmed narco cops of retirement benefits once they leave the service. For News 5, Brian Castillo. We are One News.
Former PNP Director Benjamin Magalong is backing the government's cleansing efforts within the police force. Magalong told The Big Story that he believes Interior Chief Benhur Abalos has valid reasons behind this move. Recall that Abalos has asked top PNP officials to file their courtesy resignations to purge those with links to the drug trade.
I believe there was extensive, exhaustive, and intensive consultation with stakeholders. Kaya siguro nakapag-decide na nito si Secretary Benhur.
Magalong also called on the public to be open to the administration's way in handling the issue. He is confident that the committee that will review the resignations will be composed of officials who will exercise due diligence.
We should approach this with negative mindset. Alam mo, we should even thank the Philippine National Police and Department of Interior Local Government for coming up with this very risky undertaking, but at the same time, very noble.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News Now. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. Filipino fishermen might soon be able to fish freely in the South China Sea. That's after President Bongbong Marcos and Chinese President Xi Jinping agreed to find a compromise. But as for the code of conduct, that has yet to be settled. More details in this report by Marian Enriquez.
The plight of Filipino fishermen in the West Philippine Sea was a hot topic in President Marcos' bilateral meeting with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping. Marcos said they agreed to arrive at a compromise to allow Filipinos to fish in their natural fishing grounds.
We also discussed what we can do to move forward to avoid any possible mistakes, misunderstandings. The President promised that we would find a compromise and find a solution that will be beneficial.
To put this into action, the two leaders sealed an agreement to establish a communication mechanism on maritime issues. This is just one of the 14 bilateral deals Marcos signed with China during his state visit.
Sana yung Chinese members of the bilateral group have a direct access to the President. Ako naman, for my part, titiyakin ko yung mga nakaupo sa bilateral team natin ay may direct contact din naman sa atin para diretso, para hindi tayo nothing will be lost in translation.
The president hopes that this agreement will help ease tensions between the two nations in the West Philippine Sea.
Let's just call it an incident. Sana mabawasan na yun.
The president also confirmed that he and Xi also discussed the Code of Conduct for the South China Sea and the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. But Marcos did not provide more details on this. Recall that Marcos expressed hopes to reach finality on the Code of Conduct during the ASEAN Summit.
I think that they were in private discussion, so we have not yet formulated a complete, shall we say, position.
Chinese President Xi Jinping also offered to open talks on a joint gas and oil exploration deal with the Philippines. Aside from energy, Xi also promised to support the country in areas like agriculture and infrastructure. Other agreements signed include protocols for the importation of durian and renewable energy policies. The Information and Communications Technology Department also signed a memorandum of understanding with its Chinese counterpart to boost the Philippines' digitalization efforts. MOUs were also signed to support tourism, trade, and to ensure bilateral cooperation of the two nations from 2023 to 2025. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
Officials involved in last year's sugar mess welcomed the Office of the President's decision to absolve them of charges in relation to the controversial Sugar Order Number 4. In a statement, SRA board member Ronald Beltran says that with the case's dismissal, the truth has prevailed. He maintains that he is innocent of the charges against him and that he faithfully performed his duties as a public servant. Former Agriculture Undersecretary Leocadio Sebastian, meanwhile, thanked the administration for dismissing the charges. He takes the move as a signal that the administration will be more, quote, prudent and circumspect in future actions. The Office of the President ruled that the controversial Sugar Order Number 4 was done in good faith and that it was a case of miscommunication. Order Number 4 called for the importation of 300,000 metric tons of sugar issued without the approval of President Marcos. In weather, two low-pressure areas brought rain and flooding in several parts of the country on Thursday. Several barangays in Palawan saw houses submerged in flood water. Residents were evacuated at the threat of higher floods amid continuous rains. Over in Metro Manila, several local government units canceled classes in all levels due to inclement weather. However, some parents were dismayed as students were already in schools when the announcement was made. As of 11 p.m., the LPA was spotted at 130 kilometers east-northeast of Pag-asa Island in Palawan. Pag-asa says the weather disturbance remains unlikely to develop into a tropical depression within the next 24 hours. Effects of the shear line and the northeast monsoon, however, will bring moderate to heavy rains in several parts of the country, including Bicol and Aurora. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Join us again at 9 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Jess De Los Santos. We are One News, all sides, all the time.